Question is about public sector software license models. Do you see any, well, what do you think the state of play is now and what changes?
Enterprise licensing deals I don't think will hit public sector. I mean, I would love to be able to go in and negotiate a whole of public sector deal with Microsoft, Oracle, SAP or HP. Don't think it'll work. I've seen several people have a go at it, including myself. I don't think that's going to be the case so far. Largely because, despite any country in the world thinks it's got enough pressure to make it happen, if the US government can't get it from the major vendors, then the UK government, Scottish government or the Australian government's not going to get it. There will be some open source pressure coming back on it, but I think most of the vendors will resist it. I can think of a couple of the national framework deals that I'm involved in negotiating at the moment globally, and it's essentially about negotiating as big a discount as possible for as little promise up front. I don't see major changes to that one. I would love someone to come in and do, give me 10 million and all of government can use whatever you like. Or whatever the number is, but I don't see it happening in the short term. There isn't enough force from the buyer to be able to hold the vendors to signing a deal like that.
We'll try not to tell that one to public sector procurement in Scotland. We've been getting it. John?
It's a question of public sector as well. One of the reasons that public sector IT spend has been held back is because of reluctance to let staff go.
Yeah.
When you see the desensitisation that there has been to the redundancy word and recently all the job losses in the private sector, if that spreads through into the public sector, I think that's going to free up a budget for some IT spend. I would be quite interested, I don't know if you've got statistics which show the difference in spend which is based on headcount, which I think will go down, and the spend will actually be allowed because the resources are then available.
Got some stats on that one. I guess that I've got a problem with some of the premise behind part of the question though, John. It's that think of the government departments I've worked with. If you give them the option of, okay, you can make some savings and do X or do Y, we'll typically make the savings and do nothing. They'll just take the savings rather than freeing it up to spend it on IT. So if they make labour savings, I don't see that actually freeing up an IT spending pot. I just see it being taken as bottom line savings, doing less. And that's different from the past. I mean, I think of one of the city council jobs I did years ago. It said it was for what was called a bulky uplifts process. Anyone who's works in government, it's like if you've got an old fridge or a sofa and you want the local authority to come and collect it, that's called bulky uplifts. Through some contact centre software, we managed to increase the efficiency of the bulky uplifts, so you could do a lot more with the same staff. So he said, you've got a choice. You can actually make people redundant and offer the same service to the public, or you can offer a better service. And that wasn't a decision any unelected official was willing to make. So that's a political decision with a capital P. So what ended up happening was no savings at all. Doing the same amount of bulky uplifts with the same number of people far less efficiently. So I'm just not seeing it's going to free up that pot that might get into IT.
Okay, thank you for that, David. Right, I'm going to call this to an end, and those of you who want to grab David over a drink afterwards, please feel free to do so. I'd like to make a few thank yous. I'd like to thank David in particular. Very good of him to come up to Scotland again. I know it's actually quite easy to entice him here, but this is a great way to start off the new year, and I thought some of the individual graphs there were particularly interesting, so we'll take them away and reflect on them. I'd like to thank Adventi and Cisco for sponsoring and managing the video podcasting, and particularly to Jamie who set that all up. I'd like to thank DLA Piper for providing us with premises and for catering, and that's really very, very, very welcome to us, so thank you very much indeed. I'd like to thank all of you for coming and joining us tonight. We're very pleased at ScotlandIS to have been able to secure a number of the speakers from 10 Big Things forum we held at the end of last year. And they're going to be coming up through the year and doing a series of masterclasses as part of our events programme. So those of you who are not members of ScotlandIS, I please urge you to get joined up as soon as you can. We have credit card approved prices and it's extremely good value. So we'll be collecting cheques as you leave.
Finances as well.
I'll make the finances, yeah, that's right.
Monthly payments.
And in the meantime, do watch the website for our upcoming events, and we hope to see all of you again as a future event. Thank you very much indeed.